Hey guys, so you might know quite well that I'm very manly on camera. I don't scream like a girl, there's no footage. But I mean, if we go back to WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, a certain tag team returned and I screamed like a girl on camera. I mean, you can't blame me. The Hardy Boys returned, and today I'm speaking to one half of, in my opinion, one of the greatest tag teams in WWE. It is the one and only Jeff Hardy.
Hey, all right. Thank you so much.
How are you?
Good, man. Good. Good to be on here.
Now, it's always been a dream of mine to interview you. I've been watching you since I was a kid, so many matches I can remember. And what I love about you the most is the fact that you're known for living on the edge. That's how I really loved your character. I loved your performances because some of the stunts and moves you pull off in the ring they're practically insane, to be honest. And you could say crazy. So have you always been a daredevil since you were young?
Yeah, for sure. It's a good kind of crazy. It comes from my motocross background because I fell in love with motocross when I got my first YZ80 when I was like 13. And, oh, man, I just fell in love with building tracks, building jumps, and seeing if I could go out there and conquer them. And that's kind of like transformed me in my wrestling career as far as like, for example, a TLC match. Okay, we can put this ladder this way and that ladder that way and a table here and then use this chair to surf on or anything you can like come up with. It's very possible to pull off, man, if you're willing to like dare for it and go for it.
So speaking about daring, of course, TLC, I mentioned some of my favorite matches with you earlier. That, in my opinion, was just such an incredible match with the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian. I want to know, how many bruises did you suffer after that match exactly? Were you okay?
Oh, after that very first one that wasn't even called a TLC match, man, I when I did that swanton to Bubba Dudley, at first I didn't think I broke the table. I hit the ground so hard. And so I bruised my heels and my tailbone so bad. So I walked around on my tippy toes for about, 2.5 weeks. But yeah, slowly I got better. But yeah, that was a painful couple of weeks, man, after that first unofficial TLC match.
Now, what I always find strange about when I interview wrestlers is the fact that you've been in so many matches, but you can remember these little details. How is that? Because, for instance, I just mentioned that match and you can remember small little things. Is it just because you love wrestling so much, every match you're in, you have something special that you can take away from it?
Probably so, yeah. It's just, and me, I've always been like a high spot guy. Like I'm more of a moment guy. I like to create those immortal moments that they just replay and replay over and over as the years go by. So I've always been about that, just creating those immortal moments. Like, when I say that, I think about the spear from Edge when I was hanging up there on that thing. It was just such a classic moment. And just the big swantons over the years and trying to walk across ladders like lily pads. Yeah, it's amazing. Things I can dream up, man. A lot of times it's very possible to pull off in the WWE.
Now, you mentioned moments. My favorite moment, of course, was the TLC and, of course, your return at WrestleMania 33. What is your greatest moment of all time, in your opinion, in the WWE? There's too many, but if you had to pick one.
Yeah. Overall, I'd probably have to be returning it at WrestleMania, man. Because I think gone. I'd been gone for like eight or 9 years, I think. So I was over in the other wrestling world for a long time. And but yeah, there was times in my life I was like, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to work there again. I mean, I don't know if I burnt bridges or what, but I left on good terms back in 2009 or whatever. But then things happened. But just to go back, man, it was a tearjerker, man. I just kept saying out there to the other team, this can't be real. This is my ghost. This can't be real. This can't be. All them 80,000 people going crazy. So yeah, I would say the return it, because building up to that was so magical. The Expedition of Gold, like being the TNA champions, the Ring of Honor champions, and all these other independent champions, and then finally winning the WWE Tag Team Championships again at the main show of the year. So it was just an incredible journey.
Well, I was happy I was there. It was a great moment. Now, talking about, your tag team, the Hardy Boys, when you guys were separated, were you a bit nervous? Because for years, of course, you were in a tag team with Matt. And when you did promos together. You could rely on him when you were working matches. So when you were first initially split up, I know you performed on your own as a single star much before. But of course, having all those years of just being together and then being on your own, how was that for you?
It was good. It was really good to find out that we could be successful on our own, you know, like, especially when we're in different companies, just like right now, you know, Matt's over in the other wrestling world, and I'm still in WWE, and we're still doing really well somehow. You know, we're just so blessed. But that makes me question, is there ever going to be another reunion of the Hardy Boys, of Matt and Jeff Hardy, WWE somewhere else, you know, because I don't think about that much, but it's always cool that we can come back together and still be the Hardy Boys, because that's how it all started for us, man. But it's just been amazing. We're both so blessed to be as healthy as we are this later in life and still doing what we love to do.
Now, of course, you've been in the industry for a very long time, and I don't want you to retire anytime soon. Thank you very much. But what do you think you will do after you retire? Because I've only known you as Jeff Hardy, the WWE superstar. I know, of course, you have a band as well. You're a great singer. You love music. What are you going to do when you leave the wrestling world?
I'm really excited about music. This last little project me and my Carolina guitar player put out called Human Forms. We got to do 3 shows a while back down in Florida, and man, just singing those songs, they felt so good that people actually were enjoying it. And I think I am finding my voice like more than ever now, especially with songwriting. I think that's got better. I know my singing's got better, and I still got a long way to go. But I think there's something there, man, especially if there's people out there for that little bit of a cult following, you know, that are fans of my wrestling, but they also like the way I write songs and perform behind the mic.
So right now you're having a bit of trouble with Elias. What do you think about Elias's singing?
Elias is that new album's pretty catchy, man. Even he comes out to the Amen song all the time too. And I was just wrestling the other night, Monday night, against his what's his name, his new partner. And yeah, and I was just Amen, Amen as he was coming there. But yeah, he's something else, man. I still think there's something cool. Maybe the music kind of bonds us. If we do a song together or something, eventually it might be a good idea, man.
I mean, you say bonding, but you're hitting each other with guitars. So yeah, that's interesting.
We did a lot of that.
Could we ever see Jeff Hardy performing in a WWE ring? Maybe with your band, maybe, you know, coming down in the future, perhaps? Is that a dream?
Oh, for sure, it's a dream.
Yep.
Actually, this song just like poured out of me when the pandemic hit real hard. I was like, wow, I wonder if there's ever been a song, because naturally that world hope is when a vaccine is developed that we can get it just like the flu shot. But I had this idea at Raw the other day. I was like, what if, because if they do make us get vaccinated, you know, and because of our work, what if I did my band did that song Vaccine, and during that long bridge, I get my actual first dose of the vaccine, like live in front of hopefully like a crowd, man, because it's going to be so good to get away from that the virtual crowd. The virtual crowd is cool, but it's just strange, you know. So yeah, I definitely hope I can perform my music in WWE one day.
Well, I would love to see it. I love music, but I also love stories. And I saw one in Edge's book where he claims that the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, with Chris Jericho, were sharing a hotel room in the middle of winter. And apparently you and Edge dared each other to dive out of your 2-story window to a big pile of snow. Is this true? I mean, I know you're a daredevil, but is this true?
Yeah, I want to say it was in Baltimore, Maryland or something. And we were snowed in. It snowed like 25 inches or something crazy. And like, yeah, it was like the second story. We jumped out into this thick snow. That's a total, I want to see Jericho did it too. I can't remember if Matt did. I know me and Edge and yeah, Jericho did it, I think. Yeah,
what actually happened, and what made you guys think about that? Was it match practice?
just big kids, man. Just being big, dumb kids, you know. Because gosh, I remember what it was like. My daughter's 10 my 2 daughters are 10 and 5 now, and we were up on my roof the other day, and it used to be so fun when I was doing that at her age, you know. So I'm glad that she kind of likes things the way I liked them back then. But yeah, that was 4 or 5 grown men jumping out of a microtel window in the big snow blizzard.
Of course, you've been involved with many storylines over your career, and many of those storylines were actually based on real life events that happened or various things that you were going through, perhaps. Now, you seem to have no problem portraying that on screen. And from an outsider, it might seem quite strange. So why is it that you're okay to kind of portray these storylines? Do you think it's a good message, or do you just think it goes with the whole entertainment because people can relate?
Yeah, I think it's always been like therapy for me, just to kind of be honest, whether it was from suspensions or just going out there and saying, hey, my name is Jeff and I'm an alcoholic, like after getting in trouble and all that, because it was very controversial. A lot of people, I guess, thought it was wrong, but I knew there was going to be a very positive outcome with that bar fight.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of my ideas, I wrote up this whole idea about this bar fight, and yeah, a lot of them were used actually. So that was cool. That made me feel like maybe there is a life after wrestling for me creatively, somehow in the WWE. So I do enjoy it. I think it's something like a passion, and then you bring it into life. I mean, there's something very powerful about that.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there any wrestler you've never taken on in your career before that you would have loved to face?
Yeah, because back when WCW was the thing and WWE was the thing, and before Vince bought everything, I was like an Ultimate Warrior guy and a Sting guy. Like, that's why I paint my face now. They inspired me so much. I never knew like why they did it. I just loved it. Like when I would see them live as a kid, I just remember reaching out. I think I was 12 years old and I touched Sting on the shoulder in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I was like, wow, I want to make somebody feel like he made me feel. And now I get to go out there with my eyes closed, and it's so cool when you're in front of like live audiences, we can feel that energy. But yeah, I would say the Ultimate Warrior, man. I actually never met him. And I've met pretty much everybody else other than Andre. I never met Andre the Giant, but I've been so blessed to meet all these people. But yeah, I would like to say the Ultimate Warrior. I would love to be out there on the other side of the ring and he comes running out to that music, But,
I love to see that. And speaking of legends, you and your brother both deserve a place in the Hall of Fame. When the day comes, who would you like to induct you?
Oh,
is it going to be Matt?
Without a doubt, if we go in together, it's got to be Michael Hayes for sure. Okay. He was like our mentor, when we first got on the road together, and we learned so much from him. So yeah, without a doubt, if he's still alive, it's got to be Michael Hayes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And of course, Royal Rumble's coming up. You've never won a Royal Rumble before. You've never main evented WrestleMania. Could this be your year? Could we see you as WWE champion again?
I hope so. I feel like it's within reach as long as I keep, doing what I'm doing out there. But yeah, winning a Rumble and then main event in WrestleMania is definitely on my bucket. That's something I've never done and would love to do. So, but I don't get excited about it. I don't think about it that much, especially with the pandemic and this crazy world we live in, until it's actually here. So I'm just going to do what I always do and go out there with those 29 other superstars and do my best.
Okay, well, I actually think you're going to win the Royal Rumble. And I've actually got a little song prepared for you because I heard you're a Vanilla Ice fan. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. He inspired me to cut my own hair back in the day and to start dancing. Oh, yeah.
Okay, and so you like the song Ice Ice Baby?
Love it, man. That changed my life, man. Before I became a rock guy, I was a hip hop guy, and boy, he changed my life, just the way he was and the way he looked. And a lot of people used to say, man, you look just like that guy, man. And I would cut my hair in high school. Like, it was so crazy, but yeah, I was kind of obsessed with it.
Because I think you're going to win the Royal Rumble. You ready for it, Jeff?
Ready, man.
Okay, this is called Jeff Hardy. Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Jeff Hardy. All right, stop. We're all looking at a legend, 25 championship range in his perfection, flying. In the ring, he's electric, jumping off of ladders, looking just so majestic. Will he ever stop? Oh, I hope not, because I miss so swan-time bounce from the top. He's definitely one of my all-time greats. If you don't agree, you'll get a twist of fate. TLC was a masterpiece. All the bumps he took, man, what a beast. He's so deadly. Man, his fists ain't friendly. Monday Night Raw, where he's at on the telly. I'ma place a bet for the Royal Rumble. Jeff Hardy standing tall, and you're in trouble.
Oh, good job, man. That was awesome.
Nice.
Woo. That was very nice, man. Wow, that was amazing.
So if you need like somebody to, come down and spur you on for the Royal Rumble, you know who to call, yeah?
Yeah, of course I do now.
Okay, Jeff, thank you so much. Before we go, I'm going to take my glasses off. What is your sporting wish? Because obviously here at Astro Supersport, we have so many sports here. Apart from wrestling, what would be your sporting wish?
As far as other sports to do?
Yeah, anything in the world.
I'd definitely be a motocrosser, man. Motocrosser. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Or freestyling. I don't think I'll never backflip a motorbike, but I've always wanted to do that. And the freestyle motocross stuff is so amazing now. So one of those, either the racing or the freestyle.
Cool. Well, Jeff, thank you so much. It's been an honor speaking to you. Good luck for the Royal Rumble. Hope to see you win and become champion at WrestleMania.
Right on. Thank you, man. Jeff Hardy, too cold.
Jeff Hardy. Can we
That's
get
amazing, man.